What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Football Friday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com, Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com, ProChargeEV, I do not know why the YouTube app is not letting me broadcast today in landscape, but only here in portrait mode, horizontal, or vertical rather, as you see. All right, in the car, on the way home, Guns N' Roses last night. Got in bed about 1 a.m. Woke up at 5:30 because I wake up at 5:30. And couldn't fall back asleep, so I was like, you know what? Let's get on the road. So laid there for a little while, got up, was like, yeah, screw it. Got up, heading back. Almost to Lake Charles already. So thankfully not a lot of traffic. So Guns N' Roses was awesome. I'll do my best here to say some good mornings as I can. I had a setup where I was standing the phone up. Hang on, let me see if I can do this here. That might be okay. It might work. All right, that works. Probably really shaky for you all. Sorry about that. How is that? All right, that'll work. Yeah, we'll roll with that. Sorry, I intended for it to be horizontal, but YouTube wasn't cooperating today. All right, Football Friday. It's good stuff. LSU Ole Miss tomorrow. Saints Bucks on Sunday. Full slate of SEC games. That's great. I'm sure everybody wants to know how Guns N' Roses was. Jason H., Brian Wynn, Wendell Norman. Good morning, y'all. Brooke Bordeaux. What up, what up, what up? Just a random truck, or is that a cop? That's just a random truck on the side of the road. Austin Kidder, what's good? Good morning, good morning. Guns N' Roses was great, for those asking. They started off with, I don't have the set list in front of me, but they started with just bangers. And so right out the chute, good energy. And then they did, so, oh, by the way, let me go back. Let me backtrack first, actually. Alice in Chains opened, which was incredible. Crap. Yeah, that was bound to happen. Hang on. Just staring at my leg. There we go. Sorry about that. I knew that was going to happen. So Alice in Chains opened, which was incredible. I did not know Alice in Chains was opening until I got there. A buddy who I was going with told me, and apparently Houston has some, like, or maybe it's Texas, has some, like, curfew law where, you know, you can't, like, they couldn't be at the venue past 11 or something like that. Anyway, so Alice in Chains opened at 6 o'clock. Like, they went on, it was like 6:05 and Alice in Chains was on stage. So I'm glad we got there in time for it. And they were awesome, man. I mean, Alice in Chains played for an hour, and they played everything. They played Them Bones. They played Man in the Box, Rooster, Down in a Hole, name it. Every one of their hits, they played them all. Got Me Wrong. Played them all. So, and by the way, so if you're not familiar, Alice in Chains lead singer Lane Staley died. He overdosed 20 years ago. And so I didn't even know who the new lead singer was of Alice in Chains, but he sounded awesome. I couldn't believe how good Alice in Chains sounded. Of course, a lot of people know Jerry Cantrell, who's their lead guitarist. Long hair, big full goatee. Anyway, they played for an hour nonstop, just hits, boom, boom. It was awesome. Alice in Chains goes off stage, and it was about an hour before Guns N' Roses came out. They came out a little after 8, and they played for 3 straight hours. Did not stop. Axl Rose changed his shirt 4 times. Slash looked like he peed on himself because his jeans were soaking wet with sweat around the crotch. But they came out and opened with It's So Easy, and the first half hour was hits. It was a lot of fun. They played Slither from Velvet Revolver. And then they went into like a solid hour of just jamming. And it had to be, you kind of had to be a Guns N' Roses fan to know a lot of those songs. And then they finished just on this total ramp up where Slash did about a 5-minute guitar solo, and straight from his guitar solo they went into Sweet Child, and then from Sweet Child they went into, I think it was Knocking on Heaven's Door, and then November Rain. Rolled Out of Piano did November Rain. Another one I'm forgetting now. And then they did Patience. In the encore to Patience, they did Wichita Lineman, which I don't know why they're playing that on tour, but they are, and it was weird. It was slow and acoustic and honestly not very good. And then they finished with Paradise City, which was phenomenal. Axl, there were some songs he sounded good. I think you just have to recognize it's a 61-year-old man. He's not the same anymore. But I had heard at the Biloxi show last week he did not sound very good, and that he sounded much better tonight or last night than the Biloxi show. But he was great. It was just to see that band, perform all their hits and to play for 3 hours was awesome. So, pretty freaking fantastic night. I thought the best performance, the song they performed the best, I thought was Civil War. Slash is just incredible to watch him. The way that I would describe it, as someone who plays guitar, and I use that term very loosely, let me just say dabbles, like, imagine if, you can listen to all the songs, of course, but watching them perform the songs just gives you such a greater appreciation. What I mean is, like, let's say if you're 10 years old and you speak English, and so you have an appreciation for speaking English, and then you watch someone who's fluent in 37 languages. That's what it was like watching Slash last night. Like, I play guitar like a 10-year-old speaks, and he plays guitar like he's fluent in 37 languages. Like, not just fluent, but like at a scholarly level in 37 languages. Can speak them all with no accent. Or without, you know what I mean, without a hint of an accent. Like, fluently in that native tongue's accent. It is incredible. Anyway, so yes, so glad I went. We had floor seats, which are great. We were like right on the barricade near the pit, so we're not in the pit, but if you're facing the stage to the right of the pit, we were like right there on the end. So great seats. It's awesome. Anyway, had a great night. So then I fell asleep around 1 a.m. Phone charger that I had, there were not plugs in the hotel room that fit the phone charger that I had. So my phone died. Oh, that's an exit. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Let's go. Anyway. So I normally I have an app that's like a sound machine. So we sleep with a sound machine on in the bedroom. And so my phone died, so that went off in the middle of the night, woke me up, and then I was just up at 5:30. I was like, been telling you I've been getting up at 5:30 to go work out, so I was just up. I was like, I tried to lay back down, couldn't. My ears were still ringing. I was like, what? Just get up and leave. Just go back. So I was like, all right, I'm just leaving. Anyway, so got in the car and it just stopped for gas, and next stop will be downtown Baton Rouge, Guarantee Media. So anyway, thank you for indulging that. Come on now, dog. Let me see. I'll try to say some good mornings here for y'all. Trying to be safe though. Wandre, what's up? Weston Weaver, what up? Loading a plane, head to Jacksonville. Okay. Tim Gautreaux, what up? Antron Hemingway, what up? Cajun Country, what up? Definitely had a great time, man. Sorry, I can't look down and read all the comments. My apologies, y'all. Rex, what's going on? Thanks for watching. Barry Jocelyn, what's up? All right, so I'll just kind of riff a little bit here on. I saw zero sports yesterday, right? So I dropped off Drew at school, and my plan was to leave straight from there to go to Houston. The AC in our bedroom went out on Thursday night. Did I do morning scone yesterday? I did morning scone yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, I did. Okay, I was like, did I miss yesterday? No, we did morning scone yesterday. Okay. All right, I'm in Louisiana. Okay. I was like, wait, did I miss? No, I didn't miss yesterday. Just a little bit of a blur. So the 8 days are running together a little bit. So the AC in our bedroom went out on Wednesday night. So 1 hour air. I called them at 11:30 Wednesday night to get front of the line service. So Friday morning I had a call at 5 a.m. Somebody 1 hour air call. It was 5:45 a.m. They called me. Had to take it to the house. They called me at 8 a.m. I was like, well, I'm driving to go bring my kid to school. I'll be home at 9. So they came over at 9. Shout out Bobby, the technician who came and took care of us. So anyway, we got a little bit of a late start heading to Houston yesterday, but it was 4 hour drive, and then just went to the concert. So I saw no sports. I saw the final score last night, then my phone died. So I saw the final score on Thursday Night Football. The Lions beat up on the Packers. Not surprised, the Packers aren't great. Short week stinks. We talk about it all the time. It's one of the reasons that I didn't love the Saints last week, but the Packers were really up against it, I thought, with all their offensive absences and against the Saints defense. The Saints really blew it. But one of the reasons also I like the Saints this weekend at home, really big spot divisional game at home. Tampa, short week, haven't played on Monday Night Football. Some defensive injuries. I know the Saints are going to be without Derek Carr, but I'll maintain I don't think there's a dramatic drop-off from Derek Carr to Jameis. Jameis been around for 4 years. He gets it. He can be a starter. He's fine. So the Saints should win on Sunday. I'm really nervous, y'all, about LSU tomorrow. The more I continue to think about this game, the more, I look and I go, number one, it's never easy to go win on the road in the league. Although LSU made it look really easy a couple weeks ago at Mississippi State. And the fact that LSU did go win that road conference game gives me confidence. And Brian Kelly was 3-1 on the road in conference a year ago. Only loss, of course, was the A&M game. And that he was 1-0 on the road in conference this year. So they've managed to do well on the road, but man, the LSU defense really is. Keep thinking about how close the Arkansas game was, and how it really came down to the fact that you had to have the ball last, and keep them at arm's length, keep them chasing you, and that was at home. And now you got to go on the road, and it's Jackson Dart, it's Lane Kiffin, and the Arkansas offensive line wasn't very good, and the Ole Miss offensive line isn't very good. So it's a very similar challenge in that respect. But man, I don't know that this LSU defense has gotten any better. They're going to have to be better, and to ask that of them on the road against Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin calling plays. I got to look at the Ole Miss team a week ago that went on the road to Bama and scored 10 points. And I kind of think, all right, well, maybe it was 13. What did that score finish? It was like 20. 24-13. What was the final of that score? Anyway, I don't think Alabama's defense is great, but they were sound and they won the line of scrimmage and they prevented Judkins and Dart from really beating them running the ball because they were sound in their front seven. I think that's going to be the key for LSU. I do fully expect that I fully expect Ole Miss is going to score on their first possession. I just think Lane Kiffin is really, really good at scripting the beginning of a game and making you adjust to whatever he's going to do. And LSU did a great job of adjusting last year. Of course, Perkins was a big part of that. But, whatever your game plan was a year ago, I don't know that you could just copy and paste that because Lane's going to adjust off of that. So hopefully LSU can be a little more sound defensively tomorrow, man. I'll look at it, make my final prediction, but I'll make my prediction on AFR. But man, I do not feel great. Not feel great about this one. And remember last year, there's a lot of Ole Miss people that were very upset with me last year. Because if you remember last year when Ole Miss came to Baton Rouge, I gave my game pick on Monday. Remember, Ole Miss was undefeated, and I think they were ranked 8th in the country or something like that. And I gave my pick on Monday. Like I started my show Monday saying, I'm not even going to make you wait till Friday. I'm picking LSU to win this game and win it comfortably. Because I said, Ole Miss is a good team. They're just not the 8th best team in the country. And LSU, of course, won that game 45-20 or whatever it was. So a lot of Ole Miss people were mad at me, called me a homer and blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, and I was right. But I do not have that feeling this year because I'm not confident in LSU's defense. I was confident LSU beat Mississippi State because I don't think Zach Arnett's a good coach. And they took Will Rogers from air raid Will Rogers and turned him into, Anthony Jennings. And last week they went to South Carolina. They threw the ball 50 times. They kind of reverted to air raid principles. And they scored 30 points in South Carolina. But anyway, so tough ask for LSU to go on the road, go to Oxford. It'll be a beautiful setting. I mean, it'll be, game starts at 5, so night will fall as the game goes along. So it'll be really cool where you kind of start the game in the day and finish it at night. Defense has got to stop the run. Defense stops the run. I think LSU wins. If they get Judkins and Dart going, if Ole Miss runs for 150, 200 yards, don't feel good about it. Here's the great news, though. LSU's offense is awesome, and they're going to score on everybody. So, but, I could see that being one of those 38-35, 41-38 type games. But just nobody gets a stop, and it's whoever comes up with the quick change to go up 2 scores. The turnover that leads to a score, so you go back-to-back, or if you score at the end of the first half, start of the second half like LSU did last week, that's kind of their key. So, Devin Kelly, what up? Brooke Bordeaux, it's always an extremely close game within 3 points. Well, no. I mean, Brooke, last year, LSU, was the final last year 45-20, something like that? If you remember last year, it was just offensive fireworks. Nobody get a stop. And Ole Miss got up on LSU, and then LSU went down, scored and then Perk happened. And LSU, second half, dominated them. So, last time LSU went to Oxford, Ole Miss blew LSU out. Now, that was the end of the Ogeron era. And that was just not competitive. That 2021 team, they got blown out at Ole Miss, blown out at Kentucky. Just whatever. Blah. Anyway, I wish I could read these comments, y'all. My apologies. I'm trying to keep my eye on the road here. I have to apologize for keeping my eye on the road. So, anyway, since I can't read comments, so I can try to glance. Get a little clearing here. Perkins for Heisman. Might need to change your name, dog. I don't think Perk's winning the Heisman, bro. Anyway, all right. Mike Hardyall, what's up? Mike said stop the first 2 drives, handle the running game. Yeah, man, yes, I agree with you. But I'll remind you, man, LSU got a stop on Arkansas on their first drive. They went 3 and out. Arkansas went 3 and out in their first drive. And then LSU went 3 and out. And then Arkansas kicked a field goal. And then LSU threw a pick. But then they got the pick right back. Little did we know of what was to come in that ball game. So it was weird. The offense kind of started slow last week, but they certainly gained steam. So I just don't have a lot of faith in. Well, let me rephrase. It's less about me not having faith in LSU's defense at the beginning of the game and more about respect for how good Lane Kiffin is at the beginning of the game, scripting that sequence or coming out with a game plan to attack. So anyway, all right, y'all. We go and wrap this thing up. Looking forward to being back on air today, being back in studio today. I really behaved well at Guns N' Roses last night. Did not scream and shout at the top of my lungs the entire night, so I have a voice still. Did my very best just to lip sync whenever I was singing along, instead of just screaming the words. It's all the songs. So, again, if you would smash that like button. Sorry, we're vertical. I don't know why YouTube wouldn't cooperate and let me turn the phone here to give you a landscape view, but in any event. All right, so AFR today at 3. I will also obviously get an LSU Daily cut when I get back to studio, but on the road. I guess I can do it from my car. Nah, I'm not going to do that. Give you better audio quality than that. So I'll get an LSU Daily cut, game preview and all that. And then do AFR at 3. Phil Steele, Riot Radio, all that good stuff. So, all right, y'all. Have a phenomenal day. Thanks so much for jumping aboard with us here. And we'll talk to you at 3 for AFR. Peace. Deuces.